All right, thanks. Joining me now, a man needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyways, Premier David Eby. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Rob. Good to be here.
Tell me a bit about the housing announcement today. This is a flipping tax. Talked about it for a while. Kind of maybe seems like it would have made more sense a few years ago when people were flipping houses. The real estate market's not very active right now. What's the kind of point of doing this?
Well, the goal is when somebody's trying to buy a house, that we minimize the risk that they're competing with someone that's buying the home for speculative purposes. So the big challenge certainly previously and likely again in our real estate market is we have more people than places to live, and so it creates that speculative market. And the flipping tax, we actually don't want to make money from it. We just want to discourage people from engaging in that activity, doing something else more productive.
Is it actually going to bring prices down in any way, do you think?
It's just one tool among many to address the issues. There's no silver bullet in the housing market, otherwise we would have shot it. And so this piece is one additional mechanism to level the playing field for people trying to find a place to live.
What do you think is going to happen when interest rates finally come down from the Bank of Canada? Is real estate going to roar back up again and we're going to stress test all these new housing policies you put in?
Well, one of the big things that will happen when interest rates come down is inflation is going to come down in BC, because what we see interest rates driving in this province is a rising cost of living for people with debt, with mortgages, and also people trying to borrow to build the homes that we need. So it'll be really good news for affordability for everybody when that happens.
Let me ask you about the carbon tax. Pierre Poilievre is in town running his Axe the Tax rallies. You're now with Manitoba's Premier looking at alternatives. You're the only guy defending the carbon tax in Canada outside the Prime Minister. Do we really need one? What's your argument to people about that?
Well, the federally mandated increase applies in British Columbia as well, and we're returning all of that increase plus more to British Columbians. The carbon tax is quite entrenched in BC. It was introduced under the BC Liberals. Removing it would result in double-digit tax increases for businesses and individuals, so it's not on the table in the same way it might be in other places. But ensuring affordability has been our focus, and I think, Mr. Poilievre and I have been at odds on some issues, but on housing, I think we're on the same page, and if he really wants to support people on affordability in BC, he could have a conversation with the BC UP, with the Conservative Party here, to support our housing initiatives.
Is it possible to solve climate change without a carbon tax, to push towards reducing pollution without a tax like that?
Well, the carbon tax has been effective in British Columbia in driving down emissions. Our population's growing, our economy's growing, and our emissions are still going down. But it's far from the only tool. And I certainly look with interest to see what Wab Kinew comes up with in Manitoba. And we're always engaged in conversations with other premiers about what's effective.
Great. Thank you for taking the time. I know there's a lot going on. We'll have you back on another day.
Yeah, you bet, Rob.